Hello! Let's see how Tolgee Translator can help you with translating your app to different human languages without contextual mistakes, pretty fast, and with low costs. To watch this video, you should be familiar with Tolgee already. In this view, you can see the basic translations view where you can manage your app's localization strings. So when you are translating an app, this is an example or React app where we have some basic packing or some basic app where you can list your stuff to pack on some trip. So we have some basic elements like title of the app, some placeholder here. We have some buttons, stuff like that. Now, when we are using Tolgee SDKs, for example, for React, this application is written in React. So what we can do is that we can hit our Alt key on or Option on Mac. We can hover the strings. This is because Tolgee SDKs have a killer feature called in-context translating, and in development mode, it enables us to basically translate the stuff directly in the page, which we are currently developing. So while holding my Alt key, I can hit any of these strings. I can get this dialog, and then I can translate the strings or change the value in English or another languages which I have defined in my project. And now I can hit update, and I can see that the string was changed here. But now, what's the connection between this and the Tolgee AI Translator, right? So the connection is that every time you hit this update button, you get context stored in the app or in the Tolgee platform. So what do we mean by context? It's just the surrounding keys which are rendered in the same time. So when I hit the update here, and I will go to Tolgee platform by clicking this mouse in the corner, I will see this small flash button, and then I hit it. I got dialog with information about what keys were rendered in the same time. So I can see basically all the keys because this application is so small. The example application is so small that basically all the keys in the application are the context, which is fine. There is some limit. There is like 10 keys before and 10 keys after, which are stored to each string. So, and how it's connected to AI Translator, right? So the thing is that the AI Translator is based on ChatGPT. So when we got the translation with like the machine translation, we can get the machine translation suggestions here in the translations view, or we can run a batch operation where we can get everything translated in batch, basically without manually clicking the strings. So as you can see, with Tolgee AI Translator, which is the first one, first suggestion, we can see that there is a small flash button, and there is also some small caption telling us how the AI translator understood the context. So in this case, it's the delete button. So it correctly guess that it's some button to delete some item from the list, right? The other translators like Google Translate or AWS don't have such captions because they are not using the context. There is no way to provide context to Google Translate. And now, why it is important? When we are translating apps like these, the apps have many short strings, like for example, a share button. And share button is extremely good case to show you, because for share, translated to German, you can see that Google Translate translates as acti, which means like stock, basically. So it's share of something, some piece of something. But Tolgee Translator translates as Teilen, which means I'm not native German speaker, but hopefully the pronunciation is correct. But it's the correct translation basically. And it also understands the context. So it tells you it's button to share content, which is correct. And the translator doesn't have any other information than the context under this flash button. So from this context, it can basically correctly guess what's the context, what's the content around, and where actually the string is in the application, and can give you correct translation. And this is like pretty common problem in every web application which is translated even by human translators, because pretty often the human translators also don't know the context, don't know the specific context where the string is located in the app. So this makes your translation much more reliable, and the translation process itself is cheaper, because then you don't have to pay that much for the human translators, and you don't have to spend that much time with the reviews and corrections in your final app, in your local versions of your apps. There are a few more things to AI Translator. You can also specify manually the description for each key. So if I'm going to specify this description here, that this is some button, for example, to add an item, this description is also sent to the translator. So even if I didn't have the context stored, which I have for this case because there is a flash button, but even if I didn't have, it can get the context from this description if I entered that manually. And then in project settings, I can also use this AI customization functionality. So I can basically add description for whole project. It's specifically good for projects from some specific scope, basically, or some specific domain. For example, if you were translating an app for golf players, there are usually words like club, or meaning the stick, the thing you are hitting the ball with, or like the stroke, which is the process, basically, or the movement of hitting the ball. But usually translators like Google Translate, without the context, without the description of the project, translates such a word as a like heart attack or a music club, and this is wrong. So you can define the description of whole project here. I can type in, this is a project for golf players, and the translator will get the context of whole app and will translate it correctly. And also I can specify the notes for each language. So if I would like to, for example, keep some word untranslated when I'm translating to German, then I can basically specify it here, like in human language, and the translator will understand and take this into account. So these are the basics of the Tolgee AI Translator, and I hope you like it and you will use it for the future projects. Thanks for watching.